Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of The Writing Room. First, we're going to take a look at Chapter 2, which I've gone ahead and written. So, she's back at the room. She's been reading, and she decides she wants to look at this journal, figure out who this person was, try to track him down. So, going back to the book, nothing really in the first couple of chapters or first couple of entries. So, she reads another entry that talks about the abbey still standing, but the damage was a card, cardinal's tomb had split apart and fell on a nearby headstone. So, knowing that there's only so many churches that might have a cardinal, went and did a search, which I've researched and found the Cathedral of Our Lady of Rouen. I don't speak French, so pardon if I say these things wrong. So we're going to go down through this. She's researching. She figures out where this is in Normandy. And this is another thing I want to talk about. So in the story summary, we talked about him going east into Switzerland. But now, being the fact that this church is in Normandy, which we all know is on the west side of France, it makes more sense to go west. So we're going to take a look at how we can do that. But kind of kicking this into another gear, she goes to the church. She travels to Normandy, goes to the church. There, she interacts with a priest where she reads them a passage. They talk about the duty of Joseph and the meaning of Joseph and what they're putting themselves up for, what it means, the parallel between what Ruth is doing and what Joseph was doing, a divine call, if you will, and then kind of end out the chapter looking for information. Father doesn't know, but they do have the document down in the basement that they might be able to find something. So they both go down to the basement, and there's a small interaction there. But that's where we kind of end the chapter, is kind of leaving on that cliffhanger of Ruth going through the records, going through the documents, trying to figure out who this person was. Looking at kind of building chapter 3, biggest thing here was we're searching for who David was. So, the search or something like that. So we're going to go through some searching. Going to find partial entries that kind of link to something else, but something's been destroyed. Then they have to keep digging. Then there's another entry about donations from a vineyard with the Durand as the last name of the vineyard. Linking it to the last delivery before occupation, and then the closing beat. Ruth copies the entry into her notebook. The father suggests there might be someone still alive who remembers that name: a retired archivist, a vintner, or an elderly parishioner on the outskirts of Rouen. We'll put in another couple of entries from the journal as well before we wrapped up chapter 3. But that blocks it out, and then in the next episode, we'll talk about chapter 3. All right, thanks, everybody. Like and subscribe. Continue to follow.